Mr. Richard Hampley, in cooperation with a number of charitable figures in the Egyptian society with the aim of helping people or the children with difficult circumstances. And today we are joined with Mrs. Fátima Barada, chairperson of the Hope Village Society, to tell us more about this NGO. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning to you. Well, before we talk about the Hope Village Society, first of all, I want to ask you about the Constitution and all the conditions and the demands of the NGOs under the new Constitution, where the demands of the NGOs fulfilled.
Really, when we read the Constitution, we find that Article 5, who can allow that
51.
51.
Okay.
That NGO can be established by notification to the Ministry of Social Affairs. Mm-hmm. This statement will not be applied until the legislator modifies the existing law. We expect that this modification of the law will be during 1 month, and it will clarify all the necessary details. This law was applied with the companies, the commercial companies, and it was very, very successful. Now, for example, if somebody wants to establish an NGO, he can go to the Ministry of Social Affairs and ask what about the document. For example, they said to him, we need 10 documents. He has to apply all the required documents, and he go from the date he presents this paper, he is allowed to be active. And the ministry has the right to decline during 1 month. Mm-hmm. That's all about Article 51.
So this will be successful?
Yeah. We don't know until we have all the details. We don't know until now.
So do you have any objections regarding the new constitution and the role of the NGOs in the constitution?
We don't know until now, because it has to be clarified, all this by laws. It's not clarified. When they do the constitution, it has be followed by a law. We don't know until now what will happen.
Mm-hmm. Before we talk about anything, let's first of all, I can see very beautiful products, but tell us more about the Hope Village.
The Hope Village, when they began with Mr. Richard with 7 children only. Mm-hmm. Now we are 16 branch. Our last branch was in Alexandria. All the other branch in Cairo. When we begin of course with boys. We consider that only there is boy children only, and with the time we discover that we have girls. They are coming, and they want to go to come to our association to have the same facilities, the same things we do for the boys. And we discover that we have girls. They come with jeans and t-shirt and no hair at all, because because we consider them as boys, and they have the same activity with us. Mm-hmm. So when we discover that there is only 2 girls, the UNICEF established with us a beautiful branch in Muqattam. Mm-hmm. It's called الأمهات الصغيرات, because the little young mother, because we discovered that girls at 11 or 13, she came already raped by her father, by her brother, or in the street, and she's pregnant and she doesn't know what to do with this child. So we help her. We try to learn her how to earn her life. For example,
right now we're seeing the products of some of these children.
Yes.
Tell us more about these products. Are they all made by the street children?
Yes, yes. For example, these accessories, we have young ladies from Finland. She helped us to give the good test to the children, and they try to learn them how to do accessories. And we, of course, we participate in several bazaars and we try to sell all these products.
And the money goes to the children.
Of course, of course. And this is a carpet due by the rest of the, how do you call it? It's very easy to do it, this kind. We have candles, and we have also this for Ramadan, you know.
Yeah, they're really beautiful.
And there is also the basket and several things. We will try to do, and we learn them, of course, also to be a hairdresser, because this kind is very easy to learn. And now, you know, for the veiled woman, they ask it for a girl veiled also. We learn them how to do. Then we bring for them a flat, and three of them, they stay together. One, she stay with the three children at home, and the two other go to work, and because they don't want to be a prostitute. They want to earn their life properly. But we try to help them to live in a correct way.
Do they have family?
Yes, they have family.
How do you deal with the family? I mean, how can you take a girl from the family and let her live in other place or something?
No,
like
she's not with her family. No, the family threw the children in the street, because the mother got married, for example, to another to another husband, or the opposite. And then
I mean, no one is asking about these
no,
children.
they want to get rid of these children. They threw them in the street. The husband doesn't want to have this kind of children. This responsibility, of course. Or sometimes the husband left the family completely.
But you're only focusing on girls or boys also?
Boys.
Boys as well as girls?
No, boys are more than girls, of course. But girls are, when we discovered, we did this branch for the girls. And I hope one day you come and you visit them in Muqattam, and the boys in Madinat Nasr. And I have in 10th of Ramadan a vocational one. It's big one, and we have a football, how do you call it? They can do football or whatever, what kind of sport.
Football court where they can play soccer, for example.
And
but let me ask you, these children, where do they work? Do you offer some places for them to work to produce such products? And do they have teachers to teach them, for example? Do they sit together? The relation with them, how is it? Because psychologically, example, I think it is very difficult.
It's very difficult, of course. We discovered that we can do something called mobile unit. This mobile unit, it's go in the street, and we are trying to communicate with.
Do they read or write?
What?
Do they read or write?
Sometimes they left the school, but if the boys or the girl, she just went to the street, not for a long time, it's easy to attract them.
To deal with her.
To deal with them. But if they spend a long period in the street, for example, 3-4 years, no, it's very difficult to bring them, because they like freedom. They do whatever they want, you know, all kind of things. They can do it in the street. So it's easy to communicate with the people who just left their family. And we try to know if they have a family, we go to this family, and we try to solve their problem. For example, the mother, she doesn't have a husband. She doesn't know how to have money to spend for this. She throws them.
Sometimes the money is the only problem.
One of them. And sometimes people are going to abroad, and they left the children. They have money too, but they don't have any security. They don't have any parents with them. It's both of them, not only poverty. Or sometimes we find some good people, but they don't have any parents with them.
But I want to know, how do you guarantee that these children will not go back to the street? I think it's very difficult to deal with the street children.
Yes.
Sometimes it's really difficult. So I want to know, how do you deal with them?
Of course, we cannot bring them from the street to our shelter.
Of course.
It's impossible. They don't like prison. This for them, it's a prison. So they come all the day. They profit from all our activities. They have a bath. They have a hot meal. You can communicate with them with the hot meal. So they began to discuss with us and to say what is their problem. If we find the family, we can communicate with the family. If we don't find the family, he doesn't know his very little, for example. He doesn't know his family, for example. We try to attract him. So after this, there is a children, this shelter, for example. Not only all the days they can sleep, and they can go in the morning to the street again. And finally, we have our shelter where they can live like exactly like our children. They go to school in the morning, they go to a club in the afternoon.
I want to hear about the success stories with these children.
We have a lot, and because you know, every month we have a saving account for them. We put 50 pounds every month for them, and when they reach 21, or for example they finish their university or school, we try to buy for them a little flat and to let them married. Then this kind of successful one, they come back to us and they consider us as the grandmother, for example.
You did succeed to attract
the family.
them.
The family.
Talking about, you mentioned something very important. You're talking about schools, about universities.
Yes.
And you're talking about children that they have nothing at all. How do you help them? Because yes, maybe you can teach them something to earn their livings, but there is something else that is very important, their behavior, their attitude.
Of course.
Do you have some specialists or psychologists to
of
work
course.
on this? And who is responsible just to send them to schools and universities and all of this?
We have branches, and every branch is 20 only child or young man. So we can control, it's not a big one, no. And for example, in the 10th of Ramadan, we have a vocational one. If the boy doesn't want to go to school, for example, he doesn't accept if he can read and write, but we learn him to do a vocational one. For example, to be with wood, with electricity, with whatever.
But at least still you are teaching him at least to read and write, because
Yeah,
this is
of course.
something very important,
Of course.
even if he's not going to school, for example.
Yeah, of course, all of them, they can read and write. And in the 10th of Ramadan, there is a lot of factories all around. And even if he go to school, during summer they go to factories, they work, and they learn something.
That's perfect. Mrs. Fatma Barada, chairperson of the Hope Village Society, we thank you so much, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now, dear viewers, let's move to a report by Nile TV International Sahar Talawi, and we'll be back to continue with our second segment.